Hi, I'm Don Myers, and you're watching Dear Don, the segment where you are the star, because it's your letters I answer on the air, your questions I bring up, your irritating or sometimes meaningless concerns I hold up to public scrutiny. Well, our first viewer tonight writes in and asks, Dear Don, I hope you won't think I'm being nosy, but I'm into noses. I'm not a size queen, but which man on the show has the biggest nose? Sincerely, I'm a pseudonym. P.S. I am not a size queen. Well, you aren't the first person to be a sucker for prominent proboscis. Let me tell you a little bit about history's most famous Hooter fan. In the Middle Ages, King Handkerchief of Sweden had a harem of beautiful girls and boys. He was a misguided size queen like yourself, Ima, because he kept them in the biggest, tallest, rock-hard tower in the land. And you better believe every one of those kids had a serious schnoz. Why, they were selected from nasal beauty contests held throughout the land. They'd line up the boys and girls, they'd be compared, and in the end, someone would always win by a nose. But King Handkerchief wasn't just turned on by their noses. He also made them let their nose hair grow to incredible lengths so that it could be braided and strung with beads and trinkets the king would give as presents. He also had his metalworkers fashion little metal rings to be inserted into their nostrils. As the rings stretched the nostrils, the nose would grow, and as it got bigger and bigger, they just put in a bigger ring. Eventually, they couldn't even take out the rings because the poor teens' noses would collapse and they would suffocate under the weight of their own stupendous snouts. Well, if that sounds unusual, I've heard that King Handkerchief's annual Mucus Festival, held at the opening of cold and flu season every year, had to be seen to be believed. Well, it's from these kind of oddball antics that we get the word for this common household object. Yes, a handkerchief, named after the demented king himself. The name stuck for centuries until the late 1800s and the invention of the word Kleenex. Well, Ima, I hope this sad little tale has convinced you of the danger of being seduced by someone's snout. And I'm almost worried to answer this question about who on Gay Cable Network has the biggest nose. And besides, that's a difficult question. I mean, by biggest, do you mean longest or thickest? Now, there is a difference. And it also makes a big difference where you measure. For example, if you measure from here to here, a measly 3 centimeters. But if you measure from here to here, why, it's a whopping 7 centimeters. And always use centimeters, not inches, because 10 centimeters sounds like so much more than just 3 inches. Well, I've measured everyone on the staff, and although, say, Mike Lehman does have a serious-sized nose, my prediction was confirmed, and yes, I do have the biggest nose on Gay Cable Network. No one can hold a candle to my nose, but then my skin can get so greasy sometimes, holding a candle to my nose could cause a fire hazard. Well, anyway, keep those cards and letters coming, and stay tuned for the rest of tonight's show.